Warriors fans are absolutely loving this right now. 2 days of practice down for the reunited Curry brothers and a recently reinstated Jonathan Kuminga. As a Warriors fan, what is there not to love about this time of the year? What's going on, everybody? I'm Houston Bo. You're watching Warriors Digest. We've got a lot of news today. 2 days of practice down, as I said. Media day just a couple of days ago as well. We've now heard from Steph Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, Jonathan Kuminga, Seth Curry, Mike Dunleavy Jr., Steve Kerr. Everybody's talked to the media. We have a full viewpoint of exactly what the roster is going to look like. And yes, a couple of things haven't gone in our favor. DeAnthony Melton might not be ready for an October 21st first game tip-off against the Lakers. Jimmy Butler tweaked an ankle in practice today. But overall, the vibes, as the kids are saying today, are immaculate. I'm 22. Am I allowed to say, as the kids are saying? That feels like maybe something that I can't say. Maybe I'm not old enough to say that yet. But either way, we have a lot of exciting things to talk about on the channel today. First things first, I want to remind you guys to hit that subscribe button. We talk about it every video, and we will continue to, because again, it is the easiest way for you guys to support us. It doesn't sign you up for anything. You're not paying for a subscription. It's a simple way to subscribe and help us out on the channel, support us, and also ensures, truthfully, it's a win-win because it makes sure that you guys never miss out on a video. So lots of exciting things exciting things to talk about on today's episode. And we talked about this earlier this morning, and I just want to revisit this very quickly. The fact that Jonathan Kuminga does not want to be traded during the season. There's been so many discussions. Every single comment over the last couple of videos has been about the Jonathan Kuminga situation. Do you want him on the team? Do you not want him on the team? Let me lay out really quickly before we get into the rest of the news exactly where I stand on that situation, because I've seen a lot of comments going back and forth. I am a very big fan of Jonathan Kuminga. I have been quoted on record in previous videos saying that, and I know some people think this is outlandish and a little bit hyperbolic and crazy, but I do genuinely think, as a 22-year-old, Jonathan Kuminga's ceiling, I think he has the potential to be a top 10 player in the league. Now, you could say that about a lot of 22-year-olds in the league right now, but the reason I say that about Jonathan Kuminga is based off of three things. Number one, his athleticism. Jonathan Kuminga is an absolute freak athlete. He has a highlight package that rivals already some of the best dunkers in NBA history. Number two, his work ethic that we've seen at times, especially this offseason. I know a lot of people will say his work ethic from a place of what exactly we need him to do hasn't been there. And yes, I agree. He hasn't committed to the exact things that we've needed him to do in the past. But that leads right into my third spot. He has so much room to grow, which a lot of times can be viewed as a bad thing at this point in someone's career. But I think it's exciting because we've seen an excellent Jonathan Kuminga, and he hasn't even scratched the surface of the potential of what he can be. So I am optimistic about Jonathan Kuminga, and I'm excited about his role on the team this upcoming season. Yes, he could have a bad year. He could not buy into the team, and it could blow up in our faces. But I'm going to lean on the optimism of a 22-year-old who says he's bought into the team, as do Mike Dunleavy Jr., as does Steve Kerr, as do the rest of the guys say. And I'm excited to see how that turns out. Just some quick thoughts on that situation. Let's move on to some other exciting things currently. So this is something that we've seen Steve Kerr talk about and Steph Curry over the last couple of years, and it's the issue with Steph shooting threes and getting hit on the hand. It happens 3 times every game, I swear, and it just simply does not get called. Of all the superstars we've seen in NBA history, there has never been a superstar with a worse whistle than Steph Curry. He just doesn't get calls like the Hardens, like the Doncic's, like the Antetokounmpos of the world. And yes, he has a little bit different play style because so much of it happens from beyond the arc, but that doesn't mean that he shouldn't be getting these foul calls. And so I'm excited to see that Steve Kerr thinks that there are some rule changes coming that will hopefully help out with that. Great energy into the gym, I should say, today. People a little bit concerned about the way that Jonathan Kuminga addressed the media day from an enthusiasm standpoint, but now you can see Jonathan Kuminga, that's a big smile on his face. Moses Moody and Draymond Green putting in work as well. You love to see it. Training camp, this part of the preseason, is an absolute blast for me and as a Warriors fan, as a creator, because you get to see just a little bit of a peek behind the curtain of the anticipation. There's anticipation from a fan standpoint, but then there's preparation from a player and a front office and an organization standpoint, and being able to see these little glimpses of, okay, Jonathan Kuminga looks pretty happy, this might be a good situation, always gets me amped up. And then, on to this next thing. That was the same graphic. Season is here. Golden State Warriors posted this today, and I thought, is it October 21st? Did I sleep through 17 days? Is the season starting today? But then I realized they just mean season is here from the standpoint of, hey, we're wearing jerseys. We're throwing on the statement edition. World Smile Day apparently was today, as was National Boyfriend Day. Congratulations to all the boyfriends out there, I guess. But Gary, Moses, Moody, both these guys look excited and ready to go. Moses, that's a combination of his names. Moses looking ready to go. The offseason workouts have me extremely excited for what he's going to be. And then Gary Payton, his role similar to what has always been. We need him to come off the bench. We need him to play smaller amount of minutes from a game and a rotation standpoint, but understanding that when he's in there, he's going to be a defensive menace. He's going to knock down a couple threes if he needs to. He's going to be a great on-ball defender, and he's going to be a hustle guy like nobody else in the league is. This is what we're going to expect from the first preseason game this upcoming Sunday. Steve Kerr said that he plans to play the vets around 15 minutes in the first preseason game against the Lakers. They might end up ruling a guy or two out. It's just not worth it. You saw Josh Hart in the Knicks preseason game get hurt, and so you start to wonder a little bit, like, probably not super worth it to play these guys for extended minutes. It is the preseason. It really doesn't matter a whole lot. It was fun to see us go undefeated in the preseason last year. Every other time that had previously happened for the Warriors resulted in an NBA championship. So I was high on life, expecting that to happen again. And it looked good to start 12-3. Obviously did not culminate in a Warriors championship last season. But hey, Steph Curry doesn't get hurt in that Timberwolves series. Who knows what happens? He did mention, did Steve Kerr, that Jimmy Butler tweaked his ankle at Warriors practice on Thursday, but he doesn't think that it's going to be too serious. Questionable heading into Sunday's game, but not too worried about that injury. More so worried about the availability of D'Anthony Melton, but we will see how that turns out. Steph Curry and Seth Curry, every single episode or video, I just put a picture of Steph and Seth Curry up. I'll probably do it for the entire season because it's just something about it that just like really gets me excited. I mean, I remember for the last several seasons, even back into the early 2010s, when 2013 or 2014, I believe, was when Seth Curry had a small stint with the Warriors in the preseason before being waived. And that was like just so fun to see these guys on the same roster. So now, like, from like a potential standpoint of how sick would it be if Steph Curry and Seth Curry were on the same team? Like, that's just something that you never thought you'd actually be able to see. So to see 30 and 31, Seth Curry couldn't quite buy the jersey off of Steph like he wanted to. To see those guys in the training room together working out, man, it's such a blast, and I love to see it. And then, of course, Jonathan Kuminga re-signs. We talked about this a little bit. The only reason I brought this up is because this is just a sick graphic. I just love the work that the Warriors do from a graphic standpoint. They've got an excellent media team. But even here, yeah, I just think you can never reinstate how big a deal like this is, especially from the offseason perspective of this is what we've been waiting on. Like, this is what we've been grinding at for 2.5 months. And then all of a sudden, here it is. And it's easy for that to kind of get buried. It's easy for Jonathan Kuminga to immediately move past that. Or sorry, not Jonathan Kuminga. It's easy for fans to sort of move past that. And I hope for Jonathan Kuminga, he actually, I've been saying for a while on this channel that he kind of needs to get out of his own way. He needs to let himself be helped by other guys on the team, the veterans. But I also think he needs to have a little bit of his chip on his shoulder. I want him to come on and say, maybe I'm not betting on myself, but I do believe I have something to prove. And Jonathan Kuminga certainly does. And so I hope he comes in with a new excitement and a new energy for playing basketball. You've seen the smiles in practice over the last couple of days, and I hope that continues to be the case. I'm excited to see how it turns out. So that's everything for today, guys. As I said, Sunday, first game of the preseason for the Warriors. Let me know your thoughts. Playing the Lakers, no Luka, no LeBron. Expectations for a preseason game are never going to be too high or too much, or like too much writings on it. It's the first game of the preseason. But I do think it's exciting from the standpoint of we get to see some of these guys play that we haven't seen in a Warriors uniform. Al Horford, D'Anthony Melton obviously won't be playing, but Seth Curry, and then just being able to see exactly what these guys worked on in the offseason. Like, I want to see Jonathan Kuminga's jumper look a little quicker. I want to see Guy Santos, who said he's been working on his contested threes in Brazil all summer. I want to see that be improved. I want to see Draymond continuing to play as hard as he possibly can, even in the preseason, because that's just in his nature. So many things that I'm excited to see, and I know it all kicks off on Sunday. And then ultimately, in just about 2.5 weeks, October 21st, Warriors against the Lakers on primetime television, Tuesday night matchup to start the year. That is going to be a fun fun one. Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Appreciate all the support over the last couple of weeks. Make sure to put your comments in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. As always, go Dubs. Peace.